Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your dab of the day. Hello, everybody. Today is Wednesday. Incapable? Impossible? Absolutely not. Never. No. Those are the words, the rally cry that a professional top salesperson hears from his customer. Those are the words of inspiration. You don't encounter when you walk through the door, hey, how are you, Senior Stoner? Come on in, I got a big order for you. You don't encounter that from the great business people of the world. You encounter the objection to everything. And you have to have a response, a solution to the objection. But before you can come up with a solution, you must have a proper attitude. Those things that happen, those barriers that get set up by people in our lives, get set up by medical facilities and people in our lives, and we set them up ourselves. So we set the barriers, others set the barriers, and then they're set for us by our bodies, and then doctors say different things about what's going on. In the case of being able to overcome, you must be able to first unpack what's happening and see what's going on. A lot of times, let me go back to my history. Everything's built out of my life here. As a baby, as a young baby, a toddler, I didn't listen to the babysitters. As a young boy, I didn't listen to the counselors in camp and in school. I didn't listen to the teachers. I didn't listen to my parents. Later on, I didn't listen to the professors in college. I didn't listen to coaches on teams. I didn't listen to bosses at work. Because what they set to me were barriers, many of them. And the barriers were things like, you can't do that. I don't want you to do that. You're not going to do that. Bullshit. I can, I'm gonna, and I will. And what that allowed me to do was to determine somewhat of my own future, if that makes any sense. You're still parameters, barriers, and you're guided along the way by what you can and can't do in life. But if you listen and capitulate to all the people out there that tell you you can't do something, you're not going to do anything. How about when it comes to our bodies and our pain? How about the doctor that says to you, I can't help you, you can't, nothing can be done. The next guy you go see says, I got plenty of stuff for you. You got to be careful with that, with the body, because one guy who's not helping you might not be helping you for a reason. Maybe he would hurt you if he helped you. And the other guy might be doing it for a money grab. So in medicine, and it's different than interpersonal, you really have to really look carefully in metrics and all the different fine print with people and with objectives and things in relationships. How about you lose a friend? You have a big fight with a friend and it's over. Your objective is to get the friend to be a friend, to continue to be a friend. Say it's a friend of 50 years, like my friend Peter. What do? You can cross his name off your list, block his numbers, and absolutely have no contact with this person ever again. But if it's still your friend and you still care for this person, even if you have a fight, you're still going to feel like they're your friend. And maybe they have other issues they're dealing with too. But what are you going to do? Both go this way? Then you have no chance. You see what I'm saying? It's about increasing your chances of success, even with health. If you go to that other guy and the other guy, there's an increased chance you'll find a solution. If your interpersonal relationship has gone south, if you bury it and go away, you have no chance. If the person said, I don't want to ever talk to you again, you take that as gospel, you never talk to them again, it's over. But if you take it like that great sales executive, that great sales professional, and think of it as an opportunity, what this person's really saying is, I'm not talking to them the right way. I'm not saying the right things to them. It's not the right time yet. All these things add up to the fact that barriers are not blockades. In most cases, there's no people with guns blocking us from going out and doing more and hurting ourselves. We choose to do a little less physical activity because it hurts to do more. That's our brains handling it. There's no blocking, there's no negatives, there's nobody telling us really. But the world is saying if you go further, you're going to hurt yourself. Well, you know what you have to do? You have to engineer it, unpack it, find out exactly how much you can do, and then you find out what you can and cannot do. So you don't put yourself in tremendous more pain. What if somebody said you never could do that? What if somebody said to you, you're never going to be able to walk again outside? Oh my God, you're going to be in too much pain. It's up to you what too much pain is, not another person is. So just because that person says you can't do it, or even a book says you can't do it, doesn't mean you shouldn't try. This is about individuals. This is about snowflakes. Every snowflake's different. This is about each one of us harnessing whatever it is we have to go whatever we need to go towards to help the situation for ourselves. It's a lonely world because it's a world of us, if that makes any sense. Not lonely in a bad way. It's isolated because it's you, and you're only dealing with you. But, if you thought about it, if when you're beat down with a no, instead of being beat down with a no, you still stood there and said, why not? That might freak out the situation. Maybe these people or situations aren't used to responses. Maybe they're used to everybody being sheep and saying, sure, I guess I can't do it then. People today in America, in the world, ask police questions. They get stopped on the road. The car gets pulled over, and they say, what are you stopping me for? Instead of handing the license to the policeman. People ask everybody everything today. So we have to ask. We have to challenge the circumstances. Unpeel the onion and get to the real gist of it. And the gist of it comes back to the same thing every time. We're trying to keep ourselves out of pain. We're trying to improve our lives, and we're trying to solve situations that are uncomfortable for us. It's the human being. My example of possibly losing a dear friend is an important example because our pain, the drugs we take, the medicine we use, changes us. It changes who we are. It changes how we react to things. And some would say that it makes it more difficult for us to have great personal relationships. Because, I mean, look at all this stuff. This is not, this changes you a little bit, okay? And so do the opiates. They change us. But you have to keep trying. You have to say to yourself, if you feel like you're a little different, if things are a little different for you in the way you think, you saw a change, you got to say, how am I different? And try to take stock in that and understand it and not go flailing all over the place. So it's time for a little comportment and a little understanding of what's going on in front of us and around us. And if we do that appropriately, everybody's appropriate is going to be different here. If we do that appropriately for every individual, hopefully we'll have more tools in our tool belt to combat the things we deal with. Because we won't have taken just a blanket no for answer. We wouldn't have looked at it anymore. We can't do that. We will evaluate it, and then we'll determine what's appropriate. Let's take our hit. Cheers. And have as much life and as little pain as possible. That's what we're striving for here. Life with less pain. Excellent. Remember, everybody, the barriers are up. People put them in front of us all the time. Our job is to see them, know they're there, unpack them, and deal with them. This is the Real Senior Stoner.